Hello there everybody, it's Baaatoler aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Rose Guns Days. Now then, in the last episode we kind of met the mob boss, Alfred. And to be quite honest, it has been a while since I've used this voice. Not really that long, but it was about time I ended up using it again. But we had ourselves quite a stressful as fuck rescue operation. Jesus Christ. Ugh. That shit was messed up. But one thing, one of you guys, actually about two, maybe three of you guys in the Discord kind of talked to me about this. The chapters of Rose Guns Days are pretty varied, kind of similar to how Umineko did it. So there'll be a varying length, so not all of them will be about an hour. Some might be, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 20 minutes or so, but yeah. So, don't worry, I'll keep that in mind. So, we may not have the most structured let's read, but I'll try to keep it to a system. Now, let's move on to whatever chapter 2 is going to be, I assume. I was starting to grow fond of this frugal bed and room. No matter how filthy a room is, just having a place to live is much better than nothing. The sun wasn't rising outside. It was setting. Club Primavera is a nighttime place of business. Even bodyguards like me are bound to sleep during the day and stay awake all night. I washed my face, looking down at the bustling street below as neon lights began to flick on. Even now, it's hard to believe this is my hometown. Come to think of it, I haven't seen much of the city at daytime lately. I can almost imagine this Tokyo to be a city of endless night, the ground glittering with the neon signs that are our stars. Well, maybe it isn't so bad this way. It wasn't as though my daily life as a Primavera bodyguard was an endless string of troubles. My jobs were mostly driving people places or doing work behind the scenes. Didn't usually have to make drunken, unruly guests leave the club. A boring job, but I got a place to live and money for my troubles. In this day and age, the heavens might as well strike you down for complaining about a deal like this. Yeah, even if some of them are women of the night. Chapter 2, A Big Powerful Tree of the 23rd City. Quite the title.
Good morning, Leo-kun.
Good morning to you, miss. I see you're as lovely as ever. To people who live in the night, evening might as well be morning. We even say good morning when we should be saying good evening. That day I was serving as an escort. Rose and Richard climbed into the car I was driving. Our destination was the headquarters of the occupying forces in City 23, the very heart of this city. Rose was there as the madam and as the Primavera women's mediator. Richard is in charge of finances and business dealings behind the scenes. Yeah, that sounds about right. In other words, I was driving the Primavera bigwigs to an executive meeting.
Leo, I heard all about it. It seems you played quite a large role the other day.
Oh, that's right. Leo-kun is so strong.
If only we had about 10 more men as fierce as you, and all employed for low wages.
Richard-kun! Have you been doing, Leo-kun? Have you had any trouble lately?
Well, I've been eating Western-style food all the time. If only there was a good udon restaurant around here somewhere.
Japanese food isn't particularly popular these days.
I see food stands selling it now and then. As for a restaurant,
How I long for the good old smell of soy sauce.
in that case, I'll see if I can find a place like that when I get the chance.
Glad to hear it. Please let me know if you do find something.
Ah, that's right. Rose, has there been any trouble at the club since that last incident?
Thanks to everyone's help, we haven't had any more ruffians stopping by.
Well, their boss is in the hospital after all. Must have landed at a lucky end.
However, this peace won't last forever. Need to make our next move soon.
Apparently part of this next move involved the person we were going to meet. Since our destination was the occupying forces headquarters, I had a pretty good idea of what the plan was. Guess there's nothing to lose by sucking up to the people in charge.
I prefer to say, if you're looking for shade, find it under the biggest tree.
Fair enough. The car stopped in front of the occupying forces headquarters. Some American MP started yelling at us in English, apparently telling us not to park here. Almost as though they were scolding a child who had wet his bed. This is Japan, isn't it? Yell at us in Japanese.
You mustn't say things like that. They'll probably guess what you're saying.
Richard lowered his window and explained something to them in fluent English. As soon as he did so, the behavior of the MPs changed and they started talking like normal, relaxed people. How sad. Unless you can speak English, you weren't even treated as a civilized person.
Okay, I'll be back soon.
Rose got out of the car. Richard also got out for a second, then moved up into the front passenger's seat.
You know, in the past we employed quite a few bodyguards.
I heard Alfred's group managed to scare them off one by one.
When people are employed on the cheap, it's easy to get them to leave with cheap bribes and threats. And yet, we would never be able to get by if we paid them all high wages.
Are the occupying forces reliable?
That depends on how much money you have.
Protecting Club Primavera from the swarm of flies around it was a task too big to be comfortably left to bodyguards alone. If they could gain the support of the occupying forces, that would be incredibly reassuring. What's our target?
The man locally responsible for City 23's Department of Public Order. He comes by the club every now and then. There he is. That's Captain Philip Butler.
What? Richard got out of the car and opened the door to the rear seats. Apparently he was talking about the young officer walking down the government building steps with Rose.
Captain Butler, thank you so much for offering to spare some time out of your busy...
Fucking Balor! What the fuck are you doing here? I mean, I saw you in the opening, but I wasn't expecting to see you this soon. Jesus Christ. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Get ready. I found the one that deserves this voice. Huh. As if you didn't know how much time I spend around sitting around on my ass. His Japanese was flawless. His face also made it clear that he had some Japanese blood in his veins.
Captain Butler, allow me to introduce you. This is our new driver, Leo Shishigami-kun.
Pleased to meet you. The pleasure's mine. I'm Philip Butler. Hello, intriguing dude.
Captain's Japanese on his mother's side. His Japanese is really good too.
My grandmother always did dote on me. I can even sing some Japanese folk songs if you like.
Leo, let's go.
Shit! I didn't expect to see Balor this soon, but okay.
Butler,
Really? A two-letter difference, really? Okay. Ooh, this is some snazzy music. I've been told to take them to a high-class restaurant near Club Primavera. They are probably going to share a meal there while offering the captain a few gold-colored treats. Oh, the higher-ups are bastards. They don't have a clue about anything. The whole time, Butler had been letting out the pent-up discontent from his everyday work.
you go ahead.
Sure enough, Rose is the lady of the evening. She did a good job of listening intently to everything he said, nodding and urging him to continue. And in the end, every one of them doesn't give a damn about anything but numbers. The number of crimes recorded, the number of those that went unresolved. Comparing numbers like those is the only thing they care about. Thanks to that, they only care about the numbers on paper. The people working from here don't want to hear about unnecessary work.
But that way, the actual standard of living for the people who live here.
Will be protected, but only for Americans who have the right to vote in presidential elections. The American government protects American residents. The Chinese government protects Chinese residents. But the Japanese government, which is supposed to be protecting the Japanese, has fallen. Well, they're basically telling you to take care of yourselves. Butler said it in a careless sort of way, but you could hear a faint trace of self-scorn in his voice. It looked as though he wanted to carry out his duty, but had lost any respect for the superiors who wouldn't let him do his job. We arrived at the restaurant. It was an expensive place with a glowing neon lobster. What is it, Red Lobster? Ah, lobster! My favorite!
Every kind of food is your favorite, Captain.
Hey, that's not true. You mean anything I get to eat with a cute girl?
Thank you.
Butler took Rose's arm and went into the restaurant in high spirits.
Good job. You can go back to the club now.
I hope the meeting goes well for you.
Leave that to me. Dealing with money matters as my profession.
Richard took an attaché case out of the car's trunk. He probably had stacks of bills in it or something. Leo watched him leave, then went back into the car. Okay then. Got to give it my all again today. Oh! Hello, we got choices! Club Primavera 1. Pretty awesome to be a bodyguard. With escorting cute girls as your job. If washing their backs was also a bodyguard's job, that'd be even better. Really? A harem of cute girls and good drink. It's paradise on earth. My passion for seeing tons of bottles lined up is a tale from my distant past. Yeah. The shed's packed with consumables and furniture. When you're tired of the noise and brightness of the club, the darkness here calms you down. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Dancing's great. You get men and women locked together and sweating. This place exists only for that superb purpose. I'm not going to take that in the way that I thought that I was going to take that.
Leo-san.
You're looking as pretty as ever, miss. How are you doing today?
Aw, you flatter me too much, Leo-san.
Never too much for your beauty. So, did you have some work for me, miss?
Actually, I wanted you to help me with a little errand.
Okay. The club had the drinks, food, ingredients, and consumables they needed delivered at a regular basis by the businessmen they contracted with. However, depending on the number of customers, they sometimes need to make an emergency run out. Okay.
So, we need someone to go out and buy things pretty often. I'll show you where the store is this time, and I'll ask you to go out and buy stuff next time.
So that's it. Understood, miss. After all, the girls have the vital job of entertaining the guests. I guess menial tasks like going out shopping are perfect for us mere bodyguards with all the free time we have on our hands.
Also, thank you so much for what you did the other day. It makes me shiver just thinking about what would have happened if you and the others hadn't shown up.
How can I not save a cute girl from a tight spot?
I'm really very grateful.
You really are a kind, considerate kid.
Well, that's the only thing I can do well.
Claudia was wearing a carefree smile. A wholehearted, honest smile that didn't fit a lady of the evening. Eh, she's a good girl. She's fine.
Leo-san, do you have a dream?
Can't say, but I do like the sound of those words.
I do have a dream. I've had it ever since I was a child.
Aren't you kind of... You still kind of look like a kid. And what's that?
I've always wanted to open a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Ever since I was little, when I used to play house.
I've been saving up money for it.
That's right. I've been spending little, doing the best I can to save up money.
Really are dedicated. I always thought ladies of the evening were more for living in the moment.
Of course, there are some girls like that. But there's also a lot of girls with a dream who are working really hard to make it a reality.
If it weren't for the times we live in, maybe you wouldn't have become part of Primavera at all.
I like the club for what it is. I've gotten to meet all kinds of people and I've learned a lot.
And the money's good too.
That's the most important part.
Oh God. So, what sort of restaurant are you going to start?
I want to start a restaurant that serves Japanese cooking and sake to all kinds of people, no matter what country they came from. I just hope that foreign people can enjoy our country's culture, even if only a little.
Sounds like a wonderful dream. By the way, will the menu have udon and soba on it?
Of course. Do you like noodles, Leo-san?
Truth is, I've got nothing but noodle flowing through these veins, miss.
You're so funny, Leo-san.
I'll be cheering you on. Good luck getting your restaurant as soon as possible.
was nice. And so, whenever you have a day off, please drop by the club and pick me.
But how enterprising of you. Oh God. Really? All right. Let's just get these out of the way. Hi.
Leo-kun, would you clear up those glasses for me? Hey, Leo-kun, would you take out the trash for us?
I'd be happy to, ladies. Hey, menial chores are pretty much the only thing I could do around the club, despite being a bodyguard. Still, it's nice to be kept busy. If I just stood around doing nothing all the time, my engine would probably stall. Well, to be fair, it is better than doing nothing, I'll admit. As I was doing these chores, I went behind the counter and the row of bottles caught my eye. I see. You can tell the class of a place by looking at their bottles. It's one good sake after another. Nice lineup. Oh God, hi Meryl.
You know something about drinks?
Meryl, who had just seen off one of the regular customers, came over. She was always a popular one among the big drinkers thanks to her own capacity for alcohol. But she looks like a fucking toddler. For once, she actually had to break in her work, and she came over to talk to me. Well, everything about her just seemed, the proportions seemed wrong. What do you mean? Do I know about drinks? I like to think I know a bit, but what do I really know? Same with drinks, same with women. Or something like that.
Hey, make something for me.
Sure, if you have a request.
How about something to match the impression you had when you first saw me?
Doesn't matter the era. Women always put men to the test whenever they get the chance. Oh, God.
Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever given you a proper introduction.
You're Meryl Tanashi. That's about all I know.
And about all I know about you is your name, Leo Shishigami.
Then we better start getting to know each other better.
You came back from the battlefront, didn't you? Where'd you fight?
In the country far to the south.
Did you finish off a whole bunch of enemies? About how many?
I'd be happy to tell you, if you fill me in on how many men you slept with.
That'd be 0. I'm an eternal maiden after all.
Well then, Miss Maiden, allow me to apologize for my imprudent question.
Apology accepted.
Oh my God, yeah, you're basically me, you. Good God. She was good at keeping up a no, fuck it, she's actually Maria. She is basically Maria, never mind. She was good at keeping up a conversation. I could see why the hard drinkers treated her as their princess. The gap between her behavior and her childish looks must make her even more interesting to men. Not really. Sorry to keep you waiting, miss. Here you are.
Ah, a pool cafe. Beautiful. Have you worked as a bartender before?
I've got a westernized feel for it. When I was young, I was always hanging around places like this.
So, this is your first impression of me? Layer upon layer of hidden, beautifully colorful true feelings? Something like that?
These are the times we live in. No one can get through them sober.
Damn. Huh. Thanks to the disaster and the war, I've lost all my family and relatives.
Same here. When I got back, there was no one left.
I had to drink to get by. But I did get by thanks to my drinking.
That's your strength.
Thank you. So, that's why I think of my new friends as family. I won't let anyone get away with hurting them, no matter who tries.
Contrary to appearances, you're quite the big sister, aren't you?
Yeah. The girls here all think of me as a big sister, despite being the fucking shortest. You're part of my family too, okay? If you're ever in trouble, you can always count on me.
It's a comfort to hear. I'll be counting on you.
And of course, you better save me when I'm in trouble, got it? We're family after all.
I'll always save a cute girl in a pinch, whether they're family or not.
God, it's beautiful. Did you make this Leo's-on? Oh, incredible. Make one for me, please. Go get him to make one for you too, girls. Leo, let's see your first impression of all these girls.
How could I turn down a request from my lovely little sisters? I'll give it my best. Oh my God. Ay. You know what? It's kind of weird. Normally I'd be just kind of shirking and just kind of like, I don't want to do this. But oddly enough, I'm actually having fun. Okay, let's see what's at the back shed. Of course, this club was a service business. You couldn't have your employees, even bodyguards, smoking tobacco right in front of all the guests. When I asked whether there was a place I could go smoke, I was told that using the storehouse would be fine. The alley behind the club was dimly lit, and not exactly clean. However, men are strange beings, and a place like this can actually feel all the more peaceful sometimes. What's that sound? Somebody getting beat up? Oh, never mind. I guess somebody's training. When I opened the door to the warehouse, I heard the sound of something metal creaking, along with the sound of a leather bag getting hit. Close the door. You'll break my focus. Wayne, so this is where you were. I was wondering why I hadn't seen you around. Don't talk to me. You're breaking my focus. Damn. Wayne started to hit the sandbag as though making a show of ignoring me. However, his concentration seemed to have been broken and he stopped quickly. You're another one who's come back from the war, aren't you? Pretty much. You killed enemy after enemy on the battlefield and came back alive, right? Not everyone who goes to the battlefield front is a killer, right? Don't try to dodge the issue. A man with skills like yours must have had his hands dirtied with blood. Not at all. I wash my hands and my mouth every night. Damn. Listen to me, Leo. I need to make something clear. It's true that I never went to the battlefield. I've never even been baptized in artillery rifle. Or fire, sorry. However, I've been at the point of death many times myself, and always skated by. If you ever underestimate me for not fighting in the war, I'll kill you. Why should I? You're a man I respect as my senior at this job. Then, that's good. That's an interesting drill you're doing there. Passing your elbow strikes? Wayne had his back to the sandbag and was repeatedly striking behind himself with his elbow. This was clearly an exercise for an attack aimed at an opponent behind him. The other day, during the whole Alfred thing, I followed after Rose's son, and got surrounded and captured by those thugs in the bar. They were all pointing guns at you, right? Nothing you can do about that. No, it was such a cramped place. They should have been too afraid of shooting their own to actually pull the trigger. But then, they grabbed me from behind and tied me up while I was struggling. If only I'd quickly taken care of the guy behind me, they could have never captured me. I see. So that's why you've been practicing elbow thrusts behind you. If there's someone right on your back, you've got maybe 3 counters you can pull off quickly. Sounds like you've got it all thought out. Let's hear it. First, there's the elbow strike behind you. Then, there's the heel strike. And a headbutt can be a pretty strong counter, too. Not bad. And it's even more important to maneuver so that they can't get behind you in the first place. Come to think of it, didn't your dad run a dojo or something? Sure. It's true that you're strong. I have to admit it. But even you wouldn't be able to counter if someone suddenly grabbed you from behind, right? True. It is tough when it happens all of a sudden. In your pretty dojo routines, they probably only teach you how to fight people head-on. I survived in the rat's turf using nothing but fighting instincts. Just watch. The next time something like that happens to me, I won't fail like I did last time. Keep it up, kid. I'm sure you'll handle it fine next time around. Leo crumpled up his cigarette and left the room. But as he did, Wayne suddenly grabbed him from behind. Hey now. If someone did this, how would you deal with it? That insane strength you're so proud of, and your dojo techniques can't help you when you're being held from behind, right? Damn. To Wayne, it seemed to happen in an instant. Just as he seemed to notice Leo's upper body sway, he was suddenly spun around and found himself held in place. If you're interested, just give a yell. I'm a good teacher, even for guys. Shut up! I do things my way. Disappear! Keep it up, kid. Damn. Damn it! Damn, Wayne. Ow. Shit. Alright, time for the dance hall. Leo, get a car ready. Sure thing. Which lady shall I be escorting?
Me. Take me over to the dance hall in Newtown, please. I've got a party to be at tonight with a handsome gentleman.
Normally I would drive her, but Teleson asked for you.
Glad to hear it. Better go collect my generous tip.
Oh my god. Normal customers would come into the club, but we sometimes take the girls out to meet VIP patrons. The person who had called for Stella to come to the dance hall must have been one of those. Boy. Who's your customer today?
An American businessman. He's a handsome, middle-aged man in a good temper.
Speak English, don't you?
Speaking English or Chinese is a requirement for a competent lady of the evening.
I guess in these days, everyone with money is a foreigner. How sad.
There are rich Japanese people, too. However, people like that aren't in Tokyo anymore.
That's a shame. These days, Tokyo itself is a foreign country.
But it has a common language. Money and women.
Before the war, it was always the men who got pampered, but it's all flipped around now.
True. Now if a man can't speak anything but Japanese, he can't be anything more than a simple laborer. Women are different. No matter what sort of dilemma or strange land they're forced into, they can always scrape by.
So, long live the era of women.
That's what I think. This is Japan's punishment for its culture of male supremacy.
That's harsh. Damn.
I'm hoping to make money like crazy, catch myself a handsome gentleman at just the right time, and retire successfully. I've been feeling so tired these days. My calves feel so heavy. The back of my shoulders are sore too. Hey, Leo, you wouldn't happen to be a good shiatsu, would you?
It's for you, I'm an expert.
I'll have to ask you one of these days. So heavy. My poor calves.
Good God. As she said this, she stretched out her beautiful legs in a slovenly manner and put them on the passenger seat, because of course she did. It was so full of holes compared to the bewitching yet virtuous way she entered the club. So, why'd you become a lady of the evening?
The money's good. Do I need another reason?
Richard is your big brother, right? I heard you call him that once.
Oh, I'm surprised you noticed.
No, I noticed.
Yes, he's my brother. He's a money lender. He's also in charge of managing Primavera's funds and watching our safe.
In other words, he's not in a position where he'd be short of money. So, why'd you choose your nighttime occupation?
Because I didn't want to be dependent on anyone, I guess. At first, even my brother was always telling me to stop this job. But it wasn't any of his business. After all, the era of women has finally come. The era where we were forced to rely on men completely is gone.
Why do I have this feeling that this is something that might just possibly piss off Anita Sarkeesian? You're a woman with an independent spirit. Actually, I don't know. Actually, yeah, it would probably piss her off regardless.
Yes, that's right. I've no desire to be the kind of woman who can only live thanks to a man's support.
You're a strong, independent woman.
And what about now?
I'm the one giving support to men. I gently soothe their half-crusted pride for them.
In exchange for a fee?
Of course. For a short while, I show them a fabulous heaven for a fabulous fee.
Oh, God. A sexy line like that sort of goes to waste when you're sitting that way.
Darn. We're almost at the dance hall. I'd better mind my manners.
Stella drew back her legs that had been stretched out gracelessly and regained her ladylike posture. Our destination was coming into view. The neon lights of the dance hall gleamed down at us. You know what? I'm actually glad I got to see more, like, actual information about each character.
Now, I wish to learn even more about Richard.
Hello there, Butler.
What to do? With a stack of offered bills in front of him, Butler clasped his hands behind his head and stretched.
Is the amount not to your liking?
Well, no, that's not it. It's just, well, you might say it's a matter of feeling.
What do you mean?
Personally, I've taken a real liking to Club Primavera.
Thank you very much.
I love you, Rose-chan, and Stella-chan, and Meryl-chan, too. After all, such a large and lovely booby harem over there. Oh my god, you're literally Baaatoler, what the fuck? And perhaps that itself is the reason. I wish I could always stay a usual customer. Still, I understand your point of view, Rose-chan. It's a club filled with all women. I understand you can't wait until after something bad happens before taking action.
But you're the only one we can rely on, Captain Butler. We'd like your support so that the girls at our club can work in peace.
What to do? Butler stretched once more before rising to his feet. Would you mind calling for a taxi?
Captain?
You went to all the trouble of bringing this money here. It'd be a waste if I didn't accept it. I mustn't let you lose face, Rose-chan. I'm not the kind of man who would toss the money back in your face.
Does that mean...
However, I hate to say it, but I can't give you a favorable answer right away. It's because I'm seriously considering the impact of backing Primavera that I can't give an immediate answer.
Of course. We are fully aware of the risks this would imply for you, Captain.
That's it exactly. Risk versus return, and a man's pride. Along with endless love for lovely ladies. I'm sorry, but until I can calculate and sort that all out, I'd like to have some time.
We hope for a favorable reply.
Don't make a face like that. I'm just asking for a bit of time. A taxi arrived in front of the restaurant. Butler got in while Rose and Richard saw him off.
Captain, thank you very much for today.
It's pretty nice to have a dinner like this every now and then. But next time, I'd prefer the two of us alone. You can ask me out in a massive, sexy limo.
Huh? If that's what you'd like, Captain.
I'm just kidding you. Just can't help but tease you, Rose-chan.
Aw, Captain.
Later, Rose-chan. I'll be waiting for you in your dreams again tonight. Kidding, kidding. Night. Oh my god, he's literally fucking Baaatoler! God damn it! Butler's taxi vanished off into the distance. As soon as it went out of sight, the two of them felt the tension slide out of their bodies.
I do hope the Captain agrees.
He's probably realized that he'll get more money by holding out on us for a bit longer.
Richard Kuhn, the Captain isn't that kind of person.
In any event, it felt as though he might change his mind for a greater sum of money. But, are you sure? Today's amount was sizable enough.
If something bad happens, money won't do us any good. We'll only be able to buy him safely before something happens. I am the madam. Protecting everyone is my responsibility.
Money used to determine the merit of a thing carries weight. It's not the sort of money to be blown away by the wind.
I don't think our money will be wasted.
You might need more money to make the captain agree. In any event, we've thrown our dice. Now, let us wait for the captain's answer.
If he comes to the club, we'd better give him lots of extra service.
Oh my god. Just before dawn, I got a call telling me to pick them up at that lobster restaurant. How was it, miss? Did it go well?
I'm not sure yet. We're waiting for an answer.
Take Rose to the club. My office is nearby, so I'll go on foot.
Thanks for your help today, Richard Kuhn.
Perhaps we should both put words like that on hold until the captain agrees to our proposal.
As the car started moving, Rose let out a long sigh. Just looking at her gave me a pretty good idea of how their dinner meeting had gone.
Must be a tough job being the madam. It is tough. I got to work much harder to protect everyone. Why'd you become the madam? Huh? I was just wondering why such a gentle, honest girl would choose to become the leader of the ladies of the evening. I see your point. Normally, someone like Meryl or Stella, no, someone like Amanda-san, would be much better suited for the job of madam. But you know, the world of women is more complicated than it appears. You mean it's got lots of ties? Well, something like that. But I did become the madam. That's why I've got to do all I can to let everyone at Primavera live in peace. I've got to do so much more. You never stop giving it your all, do you? I'm always the one getting saved by everyone else. Even though I'm supposed to be saving them, I'm always getting saved.
Rosa's words were cut off. The strings of tension had probably released her, letting her sink into sleep. In the rearview mirror, he could see her breathing in her sleep, her eyes closed.
So is she admirable or devoted?
That's probably the emotion that separates young people from old guys. I was young once myself. However, when the war ended, there was nothing left inside me except an irresponsible, indifferent old guy. I left my formerly young soul behind in that country far to the south. We were all so determined, so single-minded, so obedient, and so straightforward. And that's what betrayed me. Huh. That's... Huh. Not really sure how to handle that. So I really won't know until I go dive more into learning what his character is all about. Oh! Right off the bat we get choices, okay. Shit, I forgot to read the description. Fuck! I decided to make this utterly changed hometown my second hometown. Well, seems to be your best option, really. I made a habit of walking around the city on my own time. I wanted to learn more about this city. Because just maybe, I could learn to love it.
Oh, now here's a shop I could get to like.
There's nothing like the joy of taking a long walk and bumping into a shop you'll love. It's hard to beat a club like Primavera, filled with cute girls, but bars for men like this aren't bad either.
Whoa, place is just packed with depressed-looking guys.
The bar was overflowing with day laborers. They all had gloomy looks on their faces, but there was an indefinable bitter charm to the place. Not bad. A man needs a good dusty drink every now and then.
God damn it. So, I smacked the woman.
Man's only worth something when he's making money. Are you really surprised she's taking you lightly?
When will treat men without money like stray mutts?
You're not wrong there.
Welcome. Now that was a face I haven't seen before.
Of course not. Haven't made my movie star debut yet.
Looks like we got us a comedian.
Business seems to be booming here.
Just a bunch of gutter slime gathering here. No sex appeal at all.
You think anyone would come to this dung-heap bar if they had money?
Yeah, we'd be having a drink and eyeing the ladies someplace they've got 'em.
Then maybe you'd better stop rolling around in the dung and get yourself a job.
You ain't wrong there. We live in a time when women make more dough than men. True. Only women can earn cash inducing those pretty American soldier boys.
Okay, I'm kind of itching to try this out, but I can make it sound like I'm that weird okay.
In the new era, we We men will be stuck trying to attract a woman to support us. So, physical labor all day and all night long.
Okay, that was actually a funny quip.
The hell's so funny?
A sudden wild yell and crash made the bar fall instantly silent. The man, who was clearly drunk out of his mind, spat.
That's so... Okay. That's the women got the dark side. Shut up and blitz. Damn it. You don't see me going around sucking up to some woman.
I think you've had more than enough to drink.
Shut up! Just what is a woman? The pet of ours won't even exist now. We men didn't risk our lives on the battlefield, alright? What are women doing? They're sucking up the foreigners wearing fancy clothes, eating good food. It's the part of just cause the blood we mention. Just what are women doing?
Even the women are working their asses off so they can eat.
Who are you defending those women?
Oh, you've got good ears. Did you hear that?
You better give that a rest. There's no calm in this guy when he gets riled up.
Well, then anyone who defends women are all shit.
Okay, let's beat the shit out of this guy.
You step outside.
Now that to pass. Walking out of a bar arm in arm with a dude isn't really my thing.
You bastard! You pissed me off!
Bring it on, you drunk bastard! Damn it, I missed my chance there. Fuck. Ha! Ah, it is getting significantly more difficult. 10, motherfucker! Ooh, attack level bonus 50,000. Nice! As long as I keep getting the Rena thing, emblem, I'll be happy.
You better go home and have a good nap. Don't forget to brush your teeth.
The man was pretty tough. He was still clumsily trying to stumble to his feet. Oh! Yes! Yes! Another force I've been wanting to do! He staggered and bumped shoulders with a large man.
Better cut your losses. This isn't a foe you're only match for. Mr. Kairiji!
The drunkenness vanished from the man's face in an instant. Apparently this new man had a reputation in this bar.
Be a good boy and go get some sleep at home. There's no place to sleep. Sure. I'll go home.
Hello there!
You spoiled my drink, kid. Go to buy me another.
Are you a big name around here? Looks like no one wants to mess with you.
Drinking and fighting are what a man lives for. If anyone thinks it too far, I gotta step in. Come on, have a seat. Next round's on this guy here.
It'd be my pleasure, Chief.
Call me Kairiji. Never been a fan of fancy titles. So, just who might you be?
I'm...
Hold up there. I'm not asking for your fancy English name, got it? We're all Japanese here. You got a fine name that you can say proudly before the heavens, don't you?
True. My name's Shishigami.
And I'm Kairiji. You know your way around the fist fight, don't you? And you're strong as hell.
Maybe, but even I can't sober up a drunk with a single glare.
You got balls of steel too. You're one crazy bastard. Still, I can't hardly believe I've never heard of someone as tough as you. You new to these parts?
Yep, just got repatriated.
Took you long enough. What have you been up to all this time?
Got stuck in a prison camp. 3 years, would you believe?
Sounds like a bitch. Where'd they drop you?
Down to the south.
Don't ask. I don't like to think about it.
I was sent to the south too. Lost a lot of good men under my command on some islands that were nothing but junk.
Oh, you were an officer?
Something of the sort. And yourself?
I was an officer too. Train new personnel was my job.
Ah, so you're an instructor. I see. That explains a little performance of yours earlier.
This whole time I thought I never wanted to talk about the war again. But apparently even the worst sort of memory can make for a great side dish to a good drink from time to time. Before long, we were drinking together and sharing stories of old times. Good. Perfect for the guy that owns the Iwishi voice now. Okay, what the... I can't examine what that says. Shit. We'll make our way down. A town with expensive apartments outside the reach of Japanese people. I was ordered to escort a certain person who lives here. Whoa! That's quite the design there. And I don't even have a voice for you. Hell, I don't even think Morgana's voice would work for you either. Yeah. Oh my. Hello there, handsome. Right back at you, pretty lady. Well now, I'm flattered to hear you call me a lady.
This is our new bodyguard, Leo-kun.
I'm Amanda, one of Rose's friends. I'm glad I got to meet you. Pleasure's mine. I must be living the good life, meeting lovely girls every day of the week. You're a funny one. How charming.
Leo-kun, I'd like you to take Amanda-san home. Do you know how to get there?
I will if you show me on a map. Never forget the address of a beauty. In that case, I'll take my leave. Rose, it's good for you to have a sense of responsibility, but try not to overdo it. I guess I could go ahead and give her, like, the Kirumi voice I was doing.
Yes, I understand.
Well said. Okay, Leo-kun, let's go. You have a very bizarre design. Her house was in the Newtown district. Or is it pronounced Newton? I think it's probably pronounced Newtown. The district was a cluster of beautiful, high-class apartments used to symbolize Japan's reconstruction. Ah, she's even got the standard fan. Hey, Leo. What is it? What do you think of Rose? She's a wonderful employer who pays my salary. That's not what I meant. Why did Rose ever become the madam? Because we couldn't all agree on anyone else. I see. Huh. As the number of repatriated soldiers grew, the streets rapidly became more dangerous. Violence brought about by men can only be countered by more violence wielded by men. And that's why the ladies of the evening decided to start employing bodyguards. If anyone wanted to employ a large number of talented men, they would first need to gather together a large sum of money. They would need to find as much money as possible for bribing public officials and such. And so the women all gathered together and formed an alliance. That alliance was Primavera. So that's how Primavera came to be. The name Primavera had two meanings. The first referred to Club Primavera, a single club. The second was the alliance of ladies of the evening that went by the same name. An alliance of ladies of the evening called Primavera. However, there was a big argument over who should be the madam, leader of this organization. It's only natural. The ladies of the night are a devious bunch. There's no chance of them all agreeing. And that's where Rose came in. Everyone loved that sincere, considerate girl. Me, Stella, and Meryl, the leaders of each faction, gathered together and nominated her. And so we were able to reach an agreement. How talented is she at the job? What do you think from what you've seen of her? She's honest, pure, and has a strong sense of responsibility. However, she worries me. It feels like she might just fall down and skin her knee at any moment. That's right. She's pure and feels a strong sense of responsibility. And that's why she worries people.
I heard about what happened with Alfred. Why didn't you stop her? To think she actually went alone even though she knew it was a trap. There are times that even Rose just goes way too far.
Because if she didn't do that, who knows what might have happened to Claudia. It's because she was the madam that she went forward into danger to protect that girl.
I agree that it was admirable. However, Rose is the madam of Primavera. Primavera isn't as unified as she thinks.
So, it's just barely holding together because of Rose?
Precisely. She has no idea how vital she is.
But maybe that part of her character is what makes her a good madam.
Perhaps. That certainly is the reason we all love her so. I'm half retired now, so I'd rather not butt in where it isn't necessary. But there are times when I think it was a mistake to recommend her for the position of madam.
It wasn't a mistake.
You think so?
No matter how worrying things are, there's something that should never be forgotten.
And you think this is something Rose has?
I do. People who never forget their noble goals will always win in the end.
To me, it sounds like you're just talking in simplistic ideals, in what way men always do.
It's not just men. Everyone loves simplistic ideals. Once we've lost those, the world's just a rock band without the vocals.
Huh. Well, I understand what you're saying, logically speaking. If I'd known it would come to this, I'd have put my foot down and made sure I became madam. If she acts recklessly and something that happens that cannot be undone, it'll be my responsibility.
There's no need to underestimate Rose like that. And besides, that's where we're here.
Forgive me. It seems getting older tends to make a person pessimistic.
No problem. I can see why Rose is loved so much, and also, I can see why only Rose could do the job of Primavera's madam.
Leo, please take care of that girl.
Of course. Even if you didn't ask, I couldn't abandon her.
Yes, thank you. You can drop me off at that corner.
Oh, that was actually nice.
I'm sorry about today. Even though it was our first meeting, we spent the whole time talking about the murky details.
No trouble. Better than a dry and boring conversation anyway.
The next time we meet, we'll talk about something much juicier. So long, then. Good night.
She seems like a nice lady. Alright, now we're going into Richard's office, whose details I forgot to read. Fucking hell! This here is Richard's office. About time I got to use this voice again. Is business going well? Come on, this is our Richard you're talking about. Oh, Jesus Christ, the fucking eyes again. He's raking enough money to make a grown man cry. Fair enough. Leo, I'm glad you came. Have a seat. Cyrus, bring him some tea. You got it. Leo, what would you like? Green tea, black tea, kelp tea, oolong tea. It's been a long time since I've had green tea. I'll take one with no sugar, please. I think I'm gonna go brew some tea after this. It's necessary to fill out some paperwork so that Primavera can pay her salary and receive a corresponding deduction. Please sign your name in all the indicated fields. My Japanese name? Of course. You got it. Shigame Kotaro. All the documents were in English. I didn't have a clue what any of them said. Richard did explain them all to me in Japanese, but I was still completely lost. Are all government documents in English? Of course they are. Did you think those fine American officers stationed here would accept Japanese documents? I imagine anyone who could translate government documents in an era like this could make a killing. This is my official profession. Money lending is my side operation. I'll bet English language schools are doing pretty well too. I hear they're flourishing. In the years to come, you probably won't be able to function as a member of society unless you speak English or Chinese. Well, considering how far spread English is, yeah. Old guys like us can only speak Japanese are going to get kicked out one by one. There's nothing to be done. It's how that generation must bear responsibility for losing the war. Give us a break!
We're the ones who get our asses handed to us if our superior officers ever heard us speaking in those villainous horizontal letters. There you go. Green tea for Leo, oolong tea for Richard.
Shit, I haven't even had oolong tea in a long time either.
Come to think of it, Cyrus, I don't remember seeing you around the club much. Aren't you a bodyguard?
Well, that's because I'm Richard's bodyguard, not one of Primavera's. Well, I'll come running if things get busy, so I'm more or less a bodyguard for both of them.
I like you, dude.
Our friendship has lasted
Oh wait, this is Richard, sorry.
Our friendship has lasted a long time. I know I can rely on him in this trouble-filled profession.
I'm envious. You're lucky to be reunited with a friend in Tokyo.
That's true. All my other friends have gone missing after all. Though I believe that makes us treasure our faint ties all the more. Even you are not one of our precious comrades.
Makes me happy to hear it. And it's reassuring to have a friend who can understand English.
The feeling is mutual. It's reassuring to know someone talented who has returned from the war.
Are you being employed by Primavera too?
My little sister and the others work at Primavera. That is my connection. You've heard, haven't you? Stella's Richard's little sister. I've never really seen any resemblance, though. I resemble our father, while my sister resembles our mother. Huh. Richard is good with money and words. He handles everything behind the scenes at Primavera. And in exchange, you're tough and strong. I'm always in your debt. Come on, all this praise is embarrassing me.
Old friends. Wish I had some of those too.
Aw.
Well, is that good?
Now, please write your repatriation notebook number here. The phone. Please excuse me. Hello. This is the Maogi office.
Am I supposed to write the hyphens here too?
Ah, you don't need them. Just write all the numbers starting on the left side.
I seem to be signing a lot of English papers without reading them. I assume none of these will give you permission to take my organs out of my living body or anything like that.
Richard wouldn't do something like that. Don't worry. Richard may be ruthless, but he'd never deceive one of his friends. I can guarantee that.
You trust Richard a lot, don't you?
After all, I've known him since we were little brats. I know he's not that kind of man. The reason he looks so ruthless is, well, because he wants to protect.
To protect?
To protect his sister and his friends. There's an awful lot of people for him to protect right now. And on top of that, the money he's dealing with isn't his. It belongs to everyone. Richard understands that. That's why he turns ruthless, to protect everyone.
So, Rosen isn't the only one who feels a strong sense of responsibility.
Well, it's not like he doesn't have a funny side to him. I'll get to show you that one of these days.
At that moment, Richard slammed his hand down onto his desk. Cyrus jumped and nervously turned around, but Richard was apparently slamming his desk at someone over the phone.
Very amusing. Of course, that is unacceptable. We had a very specific agreement as to the rate and repayment schedule, taking all possibilities into consideration. Our agreement accounted for all possible coincidences and misfortune. No, there are no exceptions, as you well know. Oh, you want me to wait 3 days? How about this then? I'll give you a 1-to-1 deal on extra days. For each day I have to wait, I will break one of your fingers, or your wife's, or possibly your daughter's. Jesus! Pretty colorful threat, don't you think? That guy's really trying hard.
What do you mean he's trying hard?
Look at Richard's hands. He's reading his lines off a notepad.
Ah, you're right. He's talking off a cheat sheet.
Oh my god. The person on the other end of the line was probably quivering from this brutal threat. The person on this end, though, was reading off a cheat sheet. Oh my god, that is awesome.
Richard really is terrible with threats. He'll always write it out beforehand, then read as it goes along.
It's really quite moving.
Come now, your family has a full 30 fingers to spare. I'll let you choose any 3 fingers you like.
Oops, looks like he slipped up a bit there. Richard noticed Cyrus snickering at him, and his cheeks turned a little red.
I'm sending one of my young men to see you now. Please select which fingers you would like broken by the time he arrives. Goodbye. Cyrus, please pay a visit to the Shiratori shop. You mustn't let them take us lightly. You got it! I'll scare the pants off them! And they thought they could fool me? I already have information telling me that they're capable of paying. There are quite a few out there who try to trick you, even though it's in their power to pay up. Getting them to do so is where we get to show our quality in this job.
You're sending Cyrus to go break their fingers?
Of course not. That sort of threat is just for phone calls. Believe it or not, I'm quite the pacifist. I tell them that everyone else had their fingers broken, but I'll just ask her to let them off easy. Do this once. And they're crying at our feet. I behave in a ruthless manner for business reasons. I wouldn't want you to suspect me of being inhuman.
Damn. Not too shabby.
Anyway, I'll be back in a bit.
Jesus. Oh my god.
I'm counting on you, Cyrus. As usual, please act in moderation. I'm not well suited to be being a moneylender. Cruelty is something I just can't get that used to. Yes, this tea certainly is delicious. Cyrus's tea always is, no matter how cold it gets.
Huh. And dude, you're awesome. I like you. Okay. Perfect. Here's a place with decent udon. It's a bit expensive, but it's surprising to see a place like this still standing in this day and age. Okay, after this, we'll probably go ahead and end the episode here. After this.
Leo-kun, there's someone I'd like you to go for a bit. Can you drive me?
As you wish, miss. So, where is it?
That's a secret.
Miss, I'm afraid I can't take you anywhere if it's a secret.
Good point.
Oh my god. She showed me the place on the map and I drove her over there. Well, if it isn't an austere Japanese-style restaurant. Those red paper lanterns tickle my excitement as a man. Okay, now that's something you never see these days. A Japanese-style restaurant.
I finally found the delicious udon place that I promised I'd find for you.
Ah. Promise? What promise?
Remember? You said you were looking for an udon place, and I promised that I'd find you one someday.
Did I ever make a promise like that? Though I do remember saying I was bored of Western food and wondered if there was any udon places around. That's conscientious of you. You remembered about that?
I always keep my promises.
There was a broad smile on Rosa's face. She's a good, conscientious girl, but I also thought she was the type who tended to carry many burdens. Thanks. I'll treat you tonight.
Don't worry about it. My salary's big enough to pay my own way.
That's good. Hey there, welcome.
I have a reservation for 2. I believe it's under the name Rose Hayabara.
You even made reservations?
This udon restaurant is actually pretty popular.
Well, I can understand that. No matter what the air is, udon is Japan's soul food.
If you look around, there are actually quite a few Japanese restaurants out there. They just tend to be expensive. It's hard to get the materials for Japanese food in Tokyo these days.
Especially soy sauce. You can find some in the Chinese districts, but the price has shot up like you won't believe. Rumor has it that some Chinatown villain has been buying it all up to raise the price. Huh, sounds like Martin Shkreli. Well, you did hear the Chinese are good at business. Well, I guess in his case, he kind of tried to fuck everybody over by making it easy to obtain medicine and extremely expensive. Close enough. Soy sauce costs a bundle. Miso costs a bundle. And sauce and ketchup are about all you can get on this sheet.
At this rate, Japanese restaurants will disappear despite all the demand for them.
There's been some low-quality fake soy sauce going around lately. Rumor says that there's some drug that's bad for the body in it. Uh-oh.
I've heard that rumor before, too. After a while, it's supposed to make you go blind.
These are the times we live in. There's a lot of dubious food drifting around with many disturbing rumors to go with it. That's terrifying. It'd be healthier to eat hamburgers all day. However, our soy sauce is the real thing. So's our dashi. That's why it's so expensive.
It is a bit, but it's supposed to taste really good.
Sure enough, everything on the menu that hung on the wall had an impressive price next to it. Once I converted the Japanese dollars into the old Japanese yen, it was like seeing a menu at an old high-class restaurant. It's enough to make you cry. These days, even udon is high-class dining.
Oh, I'll be paying tonight. You haven't gotten paid yet, have you, Leo?
I still have a little left in the repatriation office.
I'm sorry. Taking you to a place like this without thinking about your wallet.
Don't apologize. Anyway, getting to treat a girl to dinner is a privilege for a guy. Waiter, I'd like a large serving of tsunaki udon with eggs and mochi in it, and extra green onions.
Oh, then I'd like the okami udon. And some shichimi, too.
Shichimi costs extra, does it? Waiter, I'd like some shichimi too.
I'll pay. But that's my job as the madam. In order for management.
It should have been just udon, but it was delicious enough to make me tear up. There was no way to describe the greatness of udon eaten in post-war Tokyo, full of neon letters of the alphabet.
Huh. Isn't it delicious? Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'm glad I was born Japanese.
Yeah. This has become a difficult era for the Japanese, but I'm sure there are some reasons to rejoice in our heritage.
I'm sure the Americans and the Chinese have things like that too. And for Japanese people like us, this meal is a bit of heaven.
But I guess it feels a bit lonely.
What does?
I hear that right now in the schools of City 23, children are being fed sausage, buttercorn, and french fries in their school lunches. Those bastards.
Then I guess the schools in the Chinese districts are serving ramen with fried rice and Peking duck.
I'm sure the Japanese children will grow up without knowing the taste of Japanese food. That's why even the taste of udon we're eating right now. I wonder if it'll be the soul food of any adults in the future. It does make me feel just a bit lonely.
I think I've only had like actual Japanese food like maybe twice in my entire life, I think. Because I think we got like this authentic Japanese restaurant. Can't really say it, but I think it was Yamato something. But I once went in there and got myself one of those, I think it was called the bento box. I don't know if it's actual legit Japanese, but if it is, it's pretty damn good. It's all because soy sauce and miso are expensive, isn't it?
I think so. If Japanese cooking were cheaper and accessible, I'm sure Japanese food would become more popular or familiar to everyone. And if it did, maybe that taste would be passed to the future. I was thinking.
Is Club Primavera going to start up an udon shop then?
Maybe we could distribute soy sauce and no. If we could obtain some for cheap and sell it to stores. No, I wonder. If there's anything we can do.
Rose's chopsticks had frozen completely. On that day, I learned about a delicious udon place, and a little about Rose's earnest personality. That was nice.
So that was Primavera's starting point. That's right. Completely different from the Primavera you know, yes? Yes. It's sort of like a story about the merry friends of Club Primavera. Indeed. It was a gathering for the protection of friends. That was Primavera's starting point. How much do you know about Primavera?
Today, the well-known organization called Primavera was, to put it as favorably as possible, a radical nationalistic organization. If anyone said something the least bit critical of the Japanese people, they would repeatedly denounce them to the point of committing social murder. Holy fuck! How many politicians have been silenced by Primavera after a single misstatement?
Ooh.
They reigned over the shadows of Japanese society, supposedly controlling politics and business from behind the scenes as well, feared by many. Wow!
Well, only what I could learn from books and the internet in preparation for this interview.
In that case, do you know about the pasta gatherings?
Yes. That's the regular meeting of Primavera's most influential members, right? Currently, it's held at irregular intervals, but I've heard it used to be held regularly at the end of each fiscal year. Fuck! Being allowed to be present at one of them was supposedly the greatest honor for their executives.
Well, something like that. So, do you know why they all are called pasta gatherings?
Leo?
No? Why is that? Maybe it started when everyone got together and ate pasta or something.
Correct. Yes, those pasta gatherings were parties that Madame Rose started holding, where she invited all her friends and served pasta. Even after it became a stuffy executive meeting, that name alone remained.
Huh.
The power of pasta! Okay. I think that's where we will end things right now. Okay. So, we got to explore more, we got to meet a couple more characters, and we got to see a little bit more about the workings of Primavera, as well as meeting Keireiji. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, but damn. Every time it introduces a new character, I'm just kind of floored because I'm like, oh my god, another character I want to know more about! But, shit. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that dude is totally worthy of the Oishi voice, I think. But,
that's definitely where I'm gonna end it. So, well, this got me even more curious, because I want to learn more about, his, Leo's past. And what was his name? Kotaru? Is that his real name? Kotaru Shishigami? Well, I do want to learn more about what exactly happened. I mean, I'm probably going to regret it if it does get up to that point, because, I mean, war is, well, traumatic as fuck. So I imagine that Leo probably went through a lot of really bad shit. Especially with the way he was talking earlier, about leaving his young self back there. But, I don't know. Regardless, I look forward to recording more, and I hope you guys look forward to more of this as well. So, if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.